I'm handsome, I'm wealthy. Let's go.
Y'all. What's going on, guys?
My teeth are white.
What's going on? How you been? How you feeling? Too bad you guys just missed our live. Man, what's going on? Don't forget.
Guys.
On Fridays, y'all. On Fridays. We usually go on Fridays. We went today because we had a special announcement. And if you missed it, check it out. But Fridays is our live days, y'all. Jump on and communicate and hang out with us, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
What we got? All
right, man. So I've seen several times in the comment section where people are talking about, they'll raise the question. They'll pose the question, oh, so who you think owned the slave ships? And it'll be posed in that form of question. And I'm like,
good question.
I'm like, who? Yeah, good question. Who
owned
the slave? Who owned the slave ship? So on my journey our journey, I was reading, right, and I was looking up different topics to say who owns slave ships, because it does not really talk about that a lot. And the more and more you dig into history, the more and more things are unravel. But what I found out, man, well, first I want to read this. What I saw, there is I'm gonna put this up for y'all. Put this up. I'm gonna throw this up. I was asking about Jews. Did Jews own slave ships? And I read here that, yeah. So, I don't know about all of them, but it says some Jewish merchants and investors were involved in the transatlantic slave trade and owned or invested in slave ships. However, it is important to note that the involvement of Jewish people in slave trade was not unique to the Jewish community, and individuals from various religions and ethnic backgrounds were involved in the slave trade.
In the 18th century, some Jewish merchants from Newport, Rhode Island, were involved in the slave trade. Okay. Aaron Lopez, a prominent Jewish merchant, was one of the largest slave traders in North America and owned several ships that transported enslaved Africans from Africa to America.
And what was so unique when I saw that, Joy, Aaron Lopez?
Did not know that.
Lopez sounds like a Hispanic Latino name. Lopez, and he was Jewish? That was weird to me.
One of the largest slave traders.
Was a Jewish man.
In North America.
North America, Joy.
And owned several slave ships. So not that he just owned the slave ships that transported them, but he was one of the largest slave traders. Oh, wow.
So this is the kind of stuff they try to write from scratch off in the history books, because it changes things when you see that one from the Jewish community owned predominant of the slaves, and they were the biggest. One of the biggest. It was probably only a few that were the biggest, like billionaires. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was one of those.
Wow, did not know that.
And it said similarly, in the 19th century, some Jewish merchants from the Dutch colony of Suriname in South America were involved in the slave trade. They owned or invested in slave ships that transported enslaved Africans to Suriname and other parts of the Americas.
It was worth noting, however, that not all Jewish people were involved in the slave trade. So we are aware of that for sure. And many actively opposed it. Jewish communities played a significant role in the abolitionist movement, and Jewish leaders such as Rabbi David Einhorn and Rabbi Isaac Meyer Wise were vocal opponents of slavery. Wow.
In summary, while some Jewish individuals were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, it is important to recognize that the slave trade was a complex and global enterprise that involved many different individuals and groups.
And keyword, that needs to be highlighted in red with the yellow neon behind it, because, I'm saying though, it's when people, want to make the comments about certain things of our views and us learning and sharing what we learn with you guys, people don't want to hear the truth. They like to be sold and fed a lie.
They don't.
So they can keep being ignorant and making and saying some of the things they say with the lack of factual support. So here we go right here. It's important to recognize that the slave trade was a complex and global enterprise. That involved many different individuals and many different groups.
That's right. And that's what people don't want to hear.
No.
Remember I told you on the live that I've gotten a couple, in the past.
Well, that's why I was saying all of that.
Yeah, me a couple.
Not to really elaborate on it.
Okay.
But that's why I said that.
But yes, for sure. And that's what people need to understand. System. It was a full system. And just because I am black don't mean I'm not going to talk about what was the past, and that's historic.
And that we're going to agree.
My skin color don't affect me wanting to learn about history.
And that we're going to agree with, with incorrect information just because other black people are saying that that's what it is. No, we ain't on that on this channel. And y'all who've been with us for a long time know that ain't it. That's just being stupid. Why would you agree with something that's wrong just because somebody else is agreeing with it? Now, we ain't going to go down that rabbit hole, but no, we don't do that over here.
It's called confirmation bias.
But I'm so glad that this article said that, because I really didn't think that there were many, I
didn't think it existed.
Right at all. I'm not even going to say many. I didn't know that the Jewish community participated in the slave trade.
Nope. Yes, they did.
Global enterprise, because that's what it was.
But what made it so crazy, the community of the Jewish community wasn't really involved, but you had some that were involved, and it just so happened one was involved. He was the biggest, just about the biggest one in North America. Yeah. That they don't talk about that. If that was talked about, did I spit on you, baby?
No, I was about to say
if they talked about that, that would be an uproar if they because in the world information is there, we just don't go looking for it, and until somebody blasts it somewhere for everybody to see, we don't go look for what's really there in plain sight.
And when I say community, I don't mean the entire community, but I mean someone in
the community,
that
community
nationality participated in a global enterprise that involved many different individuals and groups. And we have the facts. And it's also in history. It's also research out there.
Research Aaron Lopez.
And substantiate these facts. And that's what gets me, is that when the information is out there, why do you want to still keep playing ignorant and stupid as if that ain't what it is?
Yeah, I'm tired of that.
That ain't what it is. I can't say who it is. I don't know what it is. I mean, for real. So come on.
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at people saying comments about discrediting my race. No, my race need to get on and understand. Once my race fully understand,
you need to go and read and do the research for yourself.
You're empowered once you know.
Exactly. You empower yourself when you go and do the homework for yourself instead of listening to what he said, she said.
That's right.
Or choosing to look at it from a particular slant just because that's what you want to continue to believe, even though there's other information over here that fades what you know or have known, but you don't want to get out there and do the homework, and you don't want to accept the truth.
And I bet you anybody talking like that, they probably live a victimized lifestyle.
So anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
So anyway, man, I just thought I brought this up, man.
Some good information.
It wasn't long. This is sweet and simple. But I wanted to see what y'all thought about that. Comment in the section below if you want some more of this kind of stuff. But we would definitely keep doing some more. I love this sweet and simple. Reading off, share what I learned, and tell me what y'all think about it.
Now, I kind of want to know what other Jewish merchants were out there that owned, ships and slaves.
But it keeps pointing back to this guy.
Oh, so like being the only one, like an anomaly?
Like it doesn't do a bunch of talking about the others. It just shows him as the head honcho. I'm sure there's others, but he was the
peer review articles out there.
But I think we need to start looking at. We need to see who all the other people that own them, because there was different cultures on those slave ships.
For sure.
But maybe we'll go on another and see who was the next culture that owned the slave ships.
So many aspects of slavery, guys, out there. So many aspects of slavery to tap into.
What if it was some king in Africa that was partnered with somebody that was non-African and owned slave ships?
I mean, but the thing is,
what if
it was an enterprise, bro? It was a global enterprise.
That means
so
yes.
People were trying to feed their families and keep their tribes and nations, up afloat. So we already know that. Go and check out some of these videos we did.
Going on.
It was a global enterprise all over the globe. So I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nose dive, but comment down in the section below if y'all want some more.
See you in the next video, guys.
All right.
Yeah.